So today we are going to learn about economics. As you can see, we are going to start up, with the introduction to economics. But before we go to the introduction, let's start with the learning objectives. Objective number one is to distinguish between students should be able to distinguish between economics and other social sciences like sociology, ethics, and so on. And number two is understand the meaning of scarcity as used in economics. See how scarcity is at the center of all economic problems. Enumerate economic goals and problems. Know that it is difficult to arrive at pure economic decisions since the economic problems are closely bound up with political, sociological, and other problems. Understand the reasons for specialization and exchange. So we are going to directly to start by the definition of economics. The term economics, as defined by the American economist Paul Samuelson, says that it is the study of how people and society choose to employ scarce resources that could have alternative uses in order to produce various commodities and to distribute them for consumption now or in future amongst various persons and groups in the society. Uh, we are going to now look at the scope of economics. Mm, as we can see, the study of economics begins with understanding of human wants. Scarcity forces us to scarcity forces us to economize. We weigh up the various uh, we weigh up the various alternatives and select that particular assortment of goods which excuse me, which yields the highest return from our limited resources. Modern economists use this idea to define the scope of their studies. Resources. Resources in economics means that the ingredients that are combined together by economists and termed economic goods. That is goods that are scarce in relation to demand for them. Then economic goods are things which people want are lumped together by economists and termed economic goods. That is goods that are scarce in relation to the demand for them. These are goods which free goods are goods which people can have as much as they want, e.g., air. Scarcity, choice, opportunity cost, and production possibility frontiers and curves. Scarcity, to economists, all things are said to be scarce, like the current economy. We can, as a person who is studying economics, you can obviously see that the demand, the things that we are demanding for is they are scarce. So we choose which ones to certify first and which one to forego first. That is what the word scarcity means. That they are not enough to fill everyone's wants to the point of satiety. Choice and opportunity cost. Because there are not enough resources to produce everything we want, a choice must be made about wants, which of the want to satisfy. In economics, it is assumed that people always choose the alternative that will yield them the greatest satisfaction. We therefore talk of economic man. Choice involves sacrifice. If there is a choice between having guns and having bara, and a country chooses to have guns, it will be giving up bara to the guns. The cost of having guns can therefore be regarded as the sacrifice of not being able to have barter. The cost of an item measured in terms of the alternative foregone is called its opportunity cost. As we can see, opportunity cost is the measure of the value foregone. It's measured in the terms of alternative foregone. Like the opportunity that you give a certain good to a certain the preference. Yeah, in short, it is a preference. Then we go to production possibilities and opportunity costs. Limitation of the total resources capable of producing different commodities forces society to choose between relatively scarce commodities. This can be illustrated quantitatively by simple arithmetic examples and geometrical diagrams. Supposed to take an example that a society can spend money on two products, say guns and bara. Uh, the society's resources are limited, therefore there are restrictions on the amount of guns and bara that can be made, which can be shown by a production possibility frontier. This is what This is where we are going to extract our production frontier, where we are comparing the production possibility between butter and guns. The above possibilities can be illustrated graphically using a production possibility frontier. By production possibility frontier, we mean a geometric representation of production possibilities of two commodities feasible within an economy, given a fixed quantity of available resources and constant technological conditions. Here is the production frontier. We can explain this by saying that the point at point A, the factors of production have not been fully utilized. So, achieving points to the executive to the curve means that the factors of production have been fully utilized. But at point X, we say that the factors of production are not enough to achieve point X. The concave to the origin shape of the curve stems from an assumption that resources are not perfectly occupationally mobile. Points outside the PP frontier to the northeast are attainable under the present technical know-how. Points inside it, say A, will be inefficient since resources are not being fully employed, resources are not being fully used, properly used, or outdated production techniques are utilized. If production is on the frontier, the resources are being fully utilized. Points in the production possibility, such as B, C, and D, show the maximum possible output of the two commodities. Output X will only become a production possibility if the country's ability to produce increases and the production possibility curve moves outwards. This can happen when there are changes such as increase in labor force, increase in the stock of capital, goods, factory power stations, transport networks, machinery, and or any increase in technical knowledge. That is our discussion for today. Thank you for listening. Have a nice time.